Today, I want to pour the large skull mold. Now, this is a project that I've actually had in mind for give or take about a year now, because uh, approximately that long ago, my son gave me a whole bunch of different kinds of fishing gear, like lures and so forth. And these worms, even when I saw them back then, I thought those would look so cool in a skull. Hi, I'm Lori. I want to thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this project. Now, the first thing I want to do is talk to you a little bit about the mold itself. According to water measurements, it takes 320 milliliters. And because I do use a 1-to-1 epoxy resin, I think I'm going to actually pour this in 4 separate pours. For one thing, I don't want to flash cure. And the other, these little worm things, I don't know what the material is, but they feel like rubber. And there's a possibility that they will float. So that way I can actually see how they behave in the resin. Now, I have used these or something similar to them in smaller resin projects, but because this is a bigger one, it's going to be deeper. I definitely want to be able to watch to see if they float, because ideally I would like to make sure that I have some negative space in this when it's finished. I don't want to just cram it full. So let's go ahead. Let me move these out of the way and let's get some resin poured. The first thing I want to do is let me get my gloves put on and we will start this pour. Let me turn that around that way so that you can see the front of the skull. Now I may have to turn it here and there as I'm, oops, I just tore my glove. Let me grab a new one real fast. I may have to turn it around here and there as I'm placing the stuff in. And checking for bubbles, of course. Let me get this glove put on here. All right. I am going to go ahead and try to pour the resin down the stick. So as not to introduce, hopefully, not a whole bunch of more bubbles. The bubbles they're definitely, the bubbles are the one thing that you have to really watch for. I'll just get it all in there. And then I want to look, I think that, I don't know if I mentioned I mixed 80 milliliters. I think that let me turn it around here. The brows, I do know that the brow bone, I don't know how well you can see that, has a tendency of getting little bubbles in them. So I want to do some pinches and some thumps before I do anything else. Let me get an alcohol wipe here, grab my tool, and we'll start placing these in. Ideally, I will be able to mix the red and the black with not all red, not all black, and have some, I don't know how well you can see down in there. I'll show you once I get a few of these in. But I do hope to have some negative space. Let me grab my tool. I also want some of them kind of sticking up out, because if not, it'll be too obvious that there's a pour line there. And I will manipulate these after I get a few of them in here. I just want to see what we're going to do. They definitely appear to be floating. a little bit. Let me use the other side of this tool. Because I definitely want a good mix, a good balance, and plenty of negative space. And on this, I will, after I put a couple more in here, I will wait and check it in about an hour. And then if it feels like it's cooling off, we can put another 80 milliliters in here. And I need to make sure I have some sticking up. And on these, I also noticed like some of the red tails are just red. And let me see if I can find one that some of the red tails have like a glittery look to them. And of course, I'm not going to find one right now. But I have noticed that as well. Let me make sure I have some sticking in the other direction. I just want to press them down in here just a little bit because I do want some negative space, but I want it to be balanced if possible. All right, let me stick a red one here, sticking up a little bit, and maybe a black one there. I just don't want to, I don't want to add too many at once. I do want to mention also that on these, I wash them real well with hot soapy water because I was informed that when it comes to fishing lures, sometimes they put stuff on them in order to attract the fish. So I did give them a good wash. And I'm just looking in here for bubbles now. And it's possible, you know, because there is going to be a little bit of displacement. It's possible that it won't take the full 340. I think I want to place one more kind of over here poking up at the sides if I can make it do that. And then I'm going to stop there because I don't want to overwhelm it. It may not stay. Alrighty, well, I'm just going to set a timer for 1 hour, check it, and if it's starting to cool off, I'll meet you back here and we will do the next pour. See you shortly. Okay, I actually waited 2 hours because it was still real warm after the 1 hour mark. I do have another 80 milliliters of resin. And I think at the right after I poured my last pour, I mentioned something about it may not take the whole 340. I meant 320. Let me go ahead. I'm going to put this resin in first because I do know that there's some areas like the jawbones that I need to do a few pinches and squeezes on. I don't want any air pockets in there. I don't want any bubbles and I don't want any bubble pits, if at all possible. Sometimes you can try as hard as you want and you still end up with bubbles. Let me set that aside. But right here in the cheeks, the jawbones, that is certainly an area that I don't. I'm going to give them some pinches. I really don't want any air bubbles in there. Let's give it some thumps. And just looking in here, I really don't want to overwhelm it. I may not put a whole bunch. Got a big bubble right there. I may not put a whole bunch of these in there. Okay. I feel like I need to I've been adding a bunch of red. I feel like I need to add a few more black. And definitely like up by the teeth area. I just want it to look like there's a squirmy worm right there. And again, I do want some of them poking out so that it helps to disguise the pore line. And what I plan on doing is, again, I'll let this set for 2 hours. And then I'll come back in and kind of repeat what I'm doing here. I'll do that off camera simply because you already know what it is that I'm doing. I just don't want too many and I don't want too few. Let's see if I can get those to kind of stay up on the side. I do want them going in all different directions. Let's put a red one right here. As long as they're under the top. And I don't think I'm going to put any more than that in there. Just those few. Maybe, almost feel like I need a black one over here. Let me do that, and then I need to step away from it because that's when I start putting way too much in. So what I'm going to do is I'll wait 2 hours, do another pour, and it'll probably still take yet another after that, which is fine. I am good with doming the last little bit at the end. That way, if there is anything that decides to float up, I can cover it with the dome. I will do all of that off camera, and then I will meet you back here when it's time for the unmolding. I'll see you shortly. All right, it's time to do the unmolding. Before I do that, a couple of things. I do have some overpour here, and I don't know if it's because I kept having to mess with this because it kept floating up and I made a mess, or I don't recall checking my table to see if it was level. So that's a possibility. Also, if you look in here, I don't know how well you can see it, but it looks like these worms started to melt. So I guess we'll see what we have. Now, when I first started working with resin, if you would have told me back then that I would be pouring things like dragons and skulls, I would have said no way. However, because of a request from a family member that involved a skull, and that's probably my first video that I put out. It wasn't actually the pour, but the end results of 4 different attempts. But because of that, that's why I started buying the skull molds. And I love these molds now because things just look so cool if they work out when you put them in the big, large skull molds. And if you're interested in this mold or some of the other products I use, I will put a link in the description box below. Let's see what we have here. Now, I know I have a lot of overpour. And yeah, they look kind of melty in there. I'm just looking for bubbles now. I have a lot of overpour. I did go ahead and pull out the light bases because I would kind of like to see what it looks like on the bases. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That's just the plain light base. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like on the multicolored light base. And these are the Let's Resin light bases as well. Ooh, the red is really cool. I love this one because it does turn colors. Definitely looks better, I think, on the light bases versus by itself. Go ahead and turn that off again. And I will take care of the overpour. It doesn't feel like it's unlevel. So that may have been me trying to push those things down, because they did. They just kept floating. Not as good as I would like, because the worms, you can see the little fishing worm thingies definitely tried to melt. But overall, once I trim it, I think it's a success. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I also want to ask you to consider hitting the like, share, and if you haven't already, the subscribe buttons. Thank you again for watching. Let me know what you think about the project, and I will see you next time. Thanks.